What's going on, YouTube? This is Dave,
And this is Nikki.
and today we're going to be talking about this show called Put a Ring on It. It's episode 5, I believe. We're going to be giving our reaction to what they're talking about in this particular episode, and yeah, we're going to start by playing the video. It's, from what I heard, it's pretty crazy. Here we go.
You shorty as far as attraction.
Ken knows what he likes as far as attraction. He is attracted to women out here. He's just attracted to women who are out of his league, unfortunately, most of the time. He likes very, top-notch, beautiful women that are sought after. And those type of women, in my opinion, they're picky.
So a lot of the things that you just described is you.
Right?
So how does that work? Are you putting those things aside?
Not necessarily put them to the side, but been willing to delay them. Initially, when we met, he didn't present himself in an honest manner. He just made it seem like he had a lot more going on and that he was a lot more established and stable than he actually was.
Okay.
And then it wasn't revealed to me that he wasn't until after I had already kind of fallen for him. You know, the love was there and that those other things that I wanted might be able to come over time.
Like?
His level of maturity, his level of leadership, his level of honesty, his level of desire to be stable economically.
Damn. He said it right. He said it right. Dang. Go ahead.
She said a mouthful.
Yeah, she did.
So just digging into what she said, really, she thinks that he likes women that are out of his league.
So I'm trying to understand more so her idea of what that means as far as out of the league. I mean, she kind of explained a little bit of it. However, I'm a little bit confused about that. I mean, I kind of understand where she's coming from when she says out of his league, as far as the whole concept of their relationship. But I'm still trying to get out, is it more along the lines of monetary wise?
I think money is a factor, definitely a factor in it, but I don't remember everything she said, but she lists other factors. I think she talked about established, being established and having things together, and basically she didn't say the words lying, but I want to say lying about who he is in order to attract her. And then when he did get her, then she realized that it's not as he said.
I think that happens a lot, though. I mean, we kind of all put a front
representative first. Well, you can be similar to your representative, but I don't think you should be day and night. Your representative shouldn't be like Jekyll and Hyde. It should be okay, everybody, because women especially would have makeup and stuff like that, but it shouldn't be I take off my makeup and you don't know who I am. Oh, and him, he can talk about, I have this car, or I have this or that, and you live in the basement.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, you should put your best foot forward in a dating relationship, but not lie or omission, because a lot of guys like to omit stuff, and that is also a lie when you omit information, especially if I asked you directly, what is your credit score or whatever, and my credit score is at 800, or yeah, I understand, and you didn't say what it was. Yeah. So
I understand the concept of wanting to be wanting to have a persona showcase someone to someone a version of yourself of where you would like to be versus where you are. I understand where people may have that idea. However, like you said, it definitely messes things up when it comes to a relationship because you're basically lying to that individual, whether it be monetary, whether it be makeup, when it comes to the women and stuff like that, and you have on all these things, and you're not who you basically say you are, because it can definitely mess up the relationship.
Definitely. I think for her, what she have to be better at is discerning.
Hmm.
Like when, I mean, if you lie, then there's nothing you can do. But she has to be better at picking the guy because yeah, you can say one thing, but how are you living? Like you say that you work at this place, you make this amount of money, you have this going on. Show me, kind of. Better than you just saying it. Like, show me, because I know nowadays a lot of guys are like, oh, I want to go on a date with this girl on the first date or whatever, and they want her to cook, clean, and do all of these things, and so they are making you show them. So vice
Hmm.
versa, I would.
Now, when I took what you said when you said discernment, and I understand exactly where you're coming from. When we're young, we're taught what to look for in an individual that's of the opposite sex. Like if that's what you're dating, like we're taught to what to look for we look for that person in our parents, right?
We should be,
We should be.
yes.
However, there are some of us that don't have that. So discernment is very important when you're talking about dating, especially at an older age when you don't have that. You don't, and you didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will put on a front just to try to catch you, and that's on both sides.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
That's why I think if you're dating long term and dating for marriage, like how this show is, put a ring on it,
Yeah.
it's definitely important to have somebody who you trust to
Hmm.
also vet that person. That person can be your friend, but it would be better if it's like your mom or your dad, if they're married. I would just pick somebody who I know has been in a steady relationship
Yeah.
for a long time. If that's not your parents, if you have a friend or somebody who's been in a, they can probably see red flags better than you can, and it's somebody you trust and somebody that you will also listen to, because sometimes we do get good advice and we just don't take it.
That's true. And also, like when it comes to like counseling as well, because a good counselor will tell you their opinion. Hey, I don't think you guys should. I think you guys should think. They're not gonna tell you don't get married, but they'll tell you I think you guys should think. A good counselor will sit and tell you those things. So I think it's important to do premarital counseling, to go through those things and understand, draw those things out from wherever, and get to know that individual more.
And from his point of view, I mean, she embarrassed him on national
National
television,
television, man.
but also, why lie? Like, if this
Yeah,
is who I am, this, yeah, you want to do this and you want to do that. It's good to have aspirations, but what are the steps you're taking outside of a relationship, just for yourself? What are the steps that you are taking,
yeah.
to better yourself? And I think one of the guys, as a OG, he said he had give him some advice. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's
let's
play that. Let's
listen.
listen to this clip real quick and see what he said. Hold on, sorry.
I'm gonna get rejected. You know what I mean? But can I offer you some advice coming from the OG, them the old guy? I accept it. You gotta work on yourself first. Get yourself together. Reason I say that, whenever a woman just feel like they got more to you and all that stuff, they're gonna talk how they talk. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So when you get you together, now they can't come at you like that. Man, let's touch down on that. Talking to the fellas or just reassuring me that,
I think that guy, I mean, looking at his own relationship and stuff, is not the best. But, sometimes flawed people have good advice, and I think that is good advice. I think men, you should definitely, men or women, but in this particular case, Kenneth, he should definitely work on himself and try to better himself and build up his self-esteem, because that girl really like kind of tear him down. And if you already not confident in yourself, you don't have your things going how you want it to go, and you're not like um have a good self-esteem,
Yeah.
anything anybody say will bring you down.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think, um, like looking at it from their perspective, they're obviously going to be talking about like building yourself up as far as like monetary wise and getting yourself more established as a man. I think men and women have two different goals when it comes to the whole understanding of working on yourself. When it comes to a man, when people generally say work on yourself, they generally mean like build up your income, build up yourself, build up your basically be more stable. Like for women, they're more so talking about knowing who you are, understanding what you're looking for, and they don't know, they talk about two separate things
That's true.
in my understanding. So
But I think for this case,
yeah,
I think definitely they're talking about his money,
yeah,
because I know for him, I'm not 100% sure what the women do career wise on this show, but I know for the guy, the one guy, I think his name is Otis. I think
mm-hmm.
he's a chef. The other guy, he's a co-manager of Rick Ross. And then him is like question mark, like what do
Nobody
you,
knows it. Yeah,
nobody know, does he work,
yeah,
like nobody know what he does. And I know Shorty, his girlfriend, I think she is a radio personality or something of that nature. So it's funny that like maybe in the show they did say all their jobs, but it's funny that we definitely know the
other
two
ones.
guys
Yeah,
and her, the girl job, and not the other two women job.
I mean, and it also goes down to like, is it important for what they're trying to push? You know what I'm saying? So
True.
when we see those things, his job, he may even be just engineer. Like when I say just engineer compared to what they do, I mean, but
No,
we
engineer is
don't know.
big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's big, but compared to his girl who is a radio personnel,
Yeah.
it's they may downplay
I
those things.
think if he had a career,
Uh huh.
she would be happy that he had a career,
That's true.
because I think he also did some sneaky stuff like take her phone and look at her bank
Oh
records, and
goodness.
there was some other shady stuff that he does, which all screams insecurity. Like
Yeah.
when she was trying to break up with him before, he had did a whole bunch of stuff that's just unnecessary. As an adult, you should, if you're gonna go separate ways peacefully.
Yeah.
And it's odd that a guy would react the way how he react when she tried to break up with him, according to her on the show. So it's just him, this whole like if I was going to give them advice, I would say not get married, because like he has a lot of things to work on
Yeah.
himself,
Yeah.
and she also have to work on herself. But for him, he has to work on his self-esteem. Like the other guy said, get a job. I don't know what his job, or get a career.
Get
I
a
don't
job.
know.
Get a job.
I don't know what his
Yeah.
job is, but he's not proud of it, because obviously he didn't
Yeah.
say what it is. And just from the outside looking in, I don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
Build up his career, build up his self-esteem, and go forward from there. And for her, choose who you want, because if he's not it, because he doesn't have a strong career, when the first inkling you knew that he didn't have a good career or whatever you want, just bounce. I know you probably try to do that and he act crazy, but just still stick to your gun and just leave if that's not
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
So that's just like my final point.
I think the two things that we can definitely take away from this is number one, work on yourself. Whether that be, a man, woman, doesn't matter. Work on yourself. Make sure you definitely take the time out to know who you are, to know what you're looking for, know where you're going, and how to get there. Um, and number two, surround yourself with people who are good at discerning. Surround yourself with people who are uplifting, motivating, and can help you search, like help you to look for those things and those red flags in others. I think that's definitely the two things I would say that we can all take away from it.
So finally, we as a couple, if they had came to us as our couple friends,
Hmm.
would you recommend them? Is basically yes or no. Would at this point,
Yeah.
would you say get married or not get married?
That's a hard question because I personally wouldn't tell someone don't get married. What I would do is tell them, I would say, hey, these are the things that you guys need to look out for because this is going to cause huge issues down the road.
Okay. Yeah, you could say wait.
Yeah.
You could say
Yeah.
wait. That's what I would say. I would be like, you know, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because it can, if you don't fix those issues, it's only going to be more magnified after you get married. It's not going to be, people think that, as time
Marriage
goes on,
safe stuff.
yeah, as
Getting
time
like
goes on
walking
and
down the
children and
aisle.
stuff like that, those things will kind of go away. No, it just magnifies the issues. So definitely, I would tell them to wait and work on those issues.
Okay, guys. So if you want to hear more of our review on Put a Ring on It, the next episode, like, follow, and subscribe.
Let us know what you think. For more content like this, like and subscribe.
Subscribe.